Welcome back, Shalligator. Vlogmas rolls on. And today, dude, we're talking about LARSA Pippen. You know, I feel like I have defended this woman and like kind of been in her corner and sort of tried to understand. Bitch. She has been spotted out and about holding hands with Malik Beasley, who is 24 and ostensibly married. We're going to get into that because there's a little bit of discrepancy there, and that could explain some of it, but not really. LARSA's 46, Malik is 24. This isn't about an age discussion. This is about thirstiness. This is about pick me culture. We're going to break down what's going on with LARSA and her newest NBA fling, how his wife has been blindsided by this. She had no idea any of this was going on. And what we can do to avoid being a LARSA. How can we avoid this thirsty, desperate behavior? Because very few of us, we don't wake up in the morning like, I'm gonna go be desperate. But somehow, sometimes, it just be like that. It just happens. So we have to take steps to avoid that so that not being in this pick-me situation is so natural, it would never even happen in the first place. But before we get started, I just want to remind you guys that the question submission is back open on my website. If you need some one-on-one help with boys, family, whatever it might be, head to shallonlester.com. And if you would like a video shout out, get some help that way, head on over to Cameo. I'm ShallonXO there. I am also ShallonXO on Instagram, where you guys weighed in on this topic and vote. I always let you guys vote and suggest topics. You know, it's democracy. I love a good democracy. I don't love LARSA Pippen. Like I said, I feel like I have defended this bitch. And like, you know, she's just been through so much drama. And she is the architect of her own misfortune. She is. Like, she's been excommunicated by the Kardashian clan. That was the last time we did a video on her. And yeah, I feel like I've tried to understand her. You know, she's divorced from Scottie Pippen. Are they officially divorced? I don't know. I feel like it's so off and on. I literally don't care enough to look it up. I feel like I could understand how she's like, I'm branching out and I'm in my hoe phase and I got a 2-for-1 plastic surgery Groupon from Kim's doctor. LARSA, enough with the nips and tucks. You were a very pretty woman before all of this. I don't know what's going on. Just you're good. You're good. You've been good like 3 surgeries ago, so just maybe cool it on that. But you know what? She lost me. And one thing that people are focusing on is the huge age difference between her and Malik Beasley. So, okay, we're getting ahead of ourselves. Recently, like today, yesterday, photos broke of LARSA and this NBA player on the Minnesota Timberwolves, I believe, Malik Beasley, holding hands in a mall. A mall. And do you know what? They were carrying a Macy's bag. They went to Macy's. Look, I shop at Macy's. I live in a small town. There's not a lot of places to shop. But I also don't have a $60 million NBA contract. Is he going and getting her like a Hearts on Fire diamond? Maybe a Pandora bracelet? The fuck are you two doing in there? And what the fuck are both of you wearing? He looks like Ronald McDonald's blacksmith, and she's in some sort of like BDSM cooking apron. Like, what are you going to repair a roof and then host an orgy? What is this outfit? You go to a mall in coveralls with no bra? Santa is at the mall right now. Santa is there. You don't behave like that in front of Santa. I am shocked and chagrined. And it was funny when I first saw these pictures, because the headline on these articles didn't instantaneously identify it as LARSA. Even with the mask on, I was like, that looks like LARSA Pippen. And I thought, nah, she wouldn't do something that messy. So people want to focus on this age difference. He's 24, she's 46. Is that twice as old? No, almost. Is it? Oh, this is not my strong suit. No, it's not. And you know what? I'm not going to throw stones at the age difference. You know I love me a younger man. I always will. My boyfriend's 22, 23. He just turned 20. He's freshly 23. And I will probably, you know, this is like my zone. However, the whole point of dating someone younger is that they don't have this messy baggage. They don't have a wife. They don't have a newborn child. They are free and clear. If I wanted to date someone with a blindsided wife, yeah, no shit, I'd probably date someone my age. Like, girl, what are you doing? You're getting kind of the worst of both worlds. You're getting the messiness of a grown man and probably the immaturity of a dude who is actually 24 and the cheating bullshit of a professional athlete. And it's interesting to me that she went from Scottie Pippen, her ex-husband, to, and according to her, Tristan Thompson. Remember that fuck shit? And she claimed she dated Tristan before Khloe did. I feel like Larsa's version of dating is like, we hooked up and he responds to my texts and I send him nudes on Snap. We're dating. That ain't it, girl. He took me to Macy's. There was a Starbucks there and I got a venti. Is this your version? Raise the bar, Lars. One of you guys on Instagram's like, can we start calling her larva? You know what, kind of? Because a larva's like, what, a baby insect, like an egg? I feel like she just needs to hatch. She needs to mature a little bit. There's a larva, a pupa. Maybe we'll get pupa Pippen. Larva pupa. Larsa Pippen. We're working out the kinks on that joke so far. So I don't know what she's doing. And apparently Malik's wife, an Instagram model named Montana Yao, doesn't know either. Like, okay, hold on. There's nothing that makes me crazier than the concept of an Instagram model. Do you know that actually there is no modeling agency for Instagram models? You don't close Milan Fashion Week walking for Balmain when you're an Instagram model, okay? You take pictures and she's really pretty. And I mean, she seems nice. And I feel so sorry for that she's blindsided, but she's one of those like cringy pages where she's like squatting down and it's just like a rap lyric, just like a Migos lyric, like wavy vibes, can't knock the hustle. And you're like, what are you even talking about? And I think her subs are fake, her followers are fake because the like ratio doesn't add up at all. She gets the same amount of likes on her photos that I do, and she's got like 110,000. No, maybe, is it more than that? Like 112,000. I have 80. I'm like, you should have more likes than me. I don't know. I hate it when people buy. I think it's so fucking cringy. It's so cringy. I met this dude the other day. He claimed he has like 450,000 followers. You're not verified though, which is sus. And his likes are maybe 1,500. I'm like, bro, you're just lying. Okay, anyway. So speaking of lying, Montana, love the name, boo, has been blindsided by this. And she said, wow, I don't know who this man is. I'm seeing these for the first time, just like y'all are. I hate it when people use y'all if they're not from the South or the country. And I don't think she is, because she was Miss Malibu Teen USA. Not a lot of y'alls happen. Whatever. And when I read that, it resonated so hard. It's like, I don't know who this man is. I don't know who is this man? I remember thinking that when an ex cheated on me. It's like, I felt, you feel like violated. It's like I have been loving and talking to and sleeping with an absolute fucking hologram. I don't know who this person is, because the person I loved, the person I built my life around, couldn't do this. So she was blindsided by this. Now there's some hinkiness going on. So Malik and Montana met in 2018 and they had a baby in 2019. Makai, he's a real cutie. Face. He's a cute baby. But she calls herself his wife. Now, she's not his wife. I will bet dollar donuts they're not actually married. She's the kind of person who would post the ring, post the engagement party. Like I don't know very many people who get married to someone they're obsessed with and like keep it super hush hush when your whole business, Instagram model, okay, is like showing your life. Maybe, and look, I looked at her Instagram today after this news broke, and maybe that was up there and she deleted it, but even Us Weekly's like, we can't confirm when they got married. They're not married. They're not fucking married. Further evidence points to maybe this was like definitely on the downhill, because sources are saying that she was hoping he was going to come home for his 24th birthday in November, but she was disappointed when he didn't show. I knew where my husband was. I was never like, gee, I hope he comes home tonight. Like, if it's your actual husband or even your actual boyfriend, there's not a lot of confusion about where they are. Are they going to come see you? Where are they living? Are you spending his birthday together? So that to me kind of adds up to maybe this was not a real relationship. Maybe it was for a little while. Maybe she is like loving the cloud of being like his baby mama, the wifey. Maybe he's called her that. I don't know. One thing is for certain though, she really does seem completely blindsided by this, and we've all been in that position. And even if we know that, like, okay, maybe we're not like official boyfriend, girlfriend, but we're definitely talking and I know he loves me. You see your man, He's your man in your heart. With someone else, I mean, it's like you just got hollowed out in the center. It's just, when you think you're going in one direction and you realize someone has done a U-turn. You were looking for entrances. They were looking for exits. It's catastrophic. So I really feel for her. And I was looking at the comments on her Instagram. People like, you're so much prettier. And it's a weird, I don't know. It's a weird trade he's made. But apparently Malik has been thinking about this for a while, because this motherfucker commented on LARSA's page like 2 weeks ago, a selfie. Ugh, she's so lame. I just want to take you on a date and treat you like a queen. And he commented that publicly. I just want to take you on a date and treat you like a queen. You took her to Macy's. This pick-me culture. Let's talk about pick-me culture. I love this term because it is so accurate. When I think about pick-me culture, I truly believe the genesis is Meredith Grey from Grey's Anatomy. I stopped watching it in 2010. It's probably been on since before my boyfriend was born. But it's been on forever. And I remember this scene so well when Meredith is making her pitch to McDreamy, Patrick, whatever, the fucking guy. And she's like, pick me, love me, choose me, in her lispy baby sparrow voice. And I was like, ugh. And I think I was like 22, but I was still like, that's, oh. And I remember thinking, fuck, dude, if I was a surgeon, a grown woman, a cute woman, and I was, pick me, love me, if I was debasing myself like that, oh. And that's what I kind of like had the implantation of the seeds. It's like, you don't grow out of pick me mentality. You don't. You have to make a conscious decision to free yourself from it. And I am saying this as someone who probably easily could have run for the president of the Pick Me Federation. When I was a teenager, oh, this is so pathetic. It's like it didn't matter what I achieved. It mattered if I was thin and if I had a boyfriend. Neither really were at play. I wasn't fat and I wasn't like a complete outcast, but I was just always on the periphery. I wasn't like Shallon with the good body, and I wasn't Shallon who all the boys love. I was just normal Shallon. Weird. That wasn't good enough? Apparently not. But I definitely had that mentality, you know? The popular girls were the girls that boys liked. My definition of successful as a teenager was all the boys like her. She's got a great body, you know? Of course, there were other things, because I went to a nerd school and I was a nerd and I was a high achieving nerd of like, oh, they got into Stanford, they got into Notre Dame, wherever. But if I were being honest, in my heart of hearts, the boy attention kind of mattered more, because I did have all those academic metrics, student council president, I was on prom court, all this stuff. Everyone knew me. I won every election, but I didn't have a boyfriend. So something always felt missing to me. It always felt missing to me. So I want to read some tweets, because I was researching, some pick me culture stuff, and somebody on Twitter started a trending hashtag called tweet like a pick me, and people were offering like their best impressions of a pick me woman. So if it's hard for you to kind of understand like what this concept entails, these tweets they're so good. They're so good. You girls really out here leaving after your man cheats once? Let him make his mistakes. Watch him grow. Yes, this is a pick me mentality. It's like, don't leave a man just because he's, I don't know, lied, disrespected, cheated, broken your heart. Wow. You're not a real ride or die. No, I'm not a ride or die. I don't want to ride, and I certainly don't want to die. I want to stay home in my comfy pajamas. I just queued up an episode of Great British Bake Off. Where do we need to go and ride or die? Why is that? Let me talk really quickly about the concept of unconditional love, because it is quite honestly horseshit. The only time we should have unconditional love for anything is our pets. That's it. Because they deserve it. They love us. They are magical little things. humans? No, I don't love someone unconditionally. I remember an ex-boyfriend saying that to me. He's like, I love you unconditionally. I was like, really? And he's like, yes, don't you love me unconditionally? I was like, no. No, you idiot. No, of course not. He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, what do I mean? Let me give you a list of all the reasons why I would stop loving you tomorrow. You cheated. You lied. You drained my bank account. You talked shit about my mom. You poo-pooed my dreams. You hit me. You gave up on your dreams. Like, I could keep going. My love is not a machine that goes of itself. It's not like, well, I fell in love with you and now nothing you can do can erase that. Plenty can erase that. And for a man or anyone, and I'm including family in this too. I don't think parents should love their kids unconditionally. If you're an asshole, if you're terrible in the world, you don't want to fix yourself, you're hateful to this family, see ya, bye. No other animal's supposed to take care of their offspring for their life. Why the fuck should I? If you let anyone think that they have your unconditional love, absolute power corrupts absolutely, doesn't it? They are going to prey on that, and they are going to turn, we talk about this all the time, one of your greatest strengths, the loving, the embracing, the bonding, the empathy, they're going to turn that against you. I can push her to do whatever. She's my mom. What's she going to do? I can like get another DUI. She's going to keep bailing me out. She's going to pay my rent. You look, you're not my son. I don't do that. Oh, she took me back after I cheated on her once. So if I have another slip up, I know she's just going to be mad for like 2 weeks. I got to buy her a Pandora fucking bracelet. And then it's all good. Really? We teach people how to treat us. And if you give someone the idea that there is nothing they can do to drive you away, why wouldn't they start to do whatever they want? And this concept is central to the pick me bullshit. And it's just, unconditional love is not something men are taught. That's not something that they are supposed to give the world. Like, no, that's not even a thing. It's something women are taught. Lead with love, live, laugh, love, choose kindness. Shut the fuck, I'm not choosing fucking kindness. I'm choosing self-preservation. And ideally those two walk hand in hand. You are kind to me and I'm kind to, great, that is self-preservation. If you show me different colors, I'm not choosing kindness. What? That's pick me mentality. But there were some other really good tweets. I swear I never go out. Parties aren't my thing. I'm just a low-key girl who stares at the wall. Y'all hoes insecure. He doesn't have to take me out, call me, or even know my last name, because he already knows where home is. Only hoes go to college. Everything I need to know, I can learn from my king. Y'all can keep your $200 dates. A Lunchables and a bottle of warm Boone's Farm is enough for me, babe. Pick me is about the lowest possible bar. My needs, they're down here. Shallon Lester's needs are way up here, but not me, no. It's beggar mentality, right? And how many people want to be around a beggar? This isn't an indictment on homelessness, you know what I mean? That is not someone we are magnetized to, this pick me person, and it is certainly not someone we respect. My podcast is out today. Check it out, Girl on Top. But we talk about respect and boundaries in this week's episode because we're talking about financial boundaries, because I know that this is a really difficult time for so many of us. This year has been so hard. And I'm giving you kind of a pep talk on how to reset people's financial expectations of you in terms of presents and the holiday hosting and even traveling to see friends and family. And I say in there that if people don't respect your boundaries, they don't love you. Your limitations are what make you lovable, because your limitations that's another word for respect. And if you don't have any, no one actually respects you, right? I can push her as far as I want to. I don't need to call her back. I don't need to be on time. I don't need to be faithful. So how can you say you love that person? They don't love themselves. No one who hates themselves is getting true love from somebody else. Well, actually, yeah, they are. They're getting it from pick-me's. Men who hate themselves are venomous. they spray this, they're like an emotional skunk. They just they just carpet bomb anyone in their life with this funk that you can't get rid of, and it's choking you and killing you. Quality women are like, goodbye, I'm gonna go take a bath in tomato sauce. Pick-me's are like, I love the smell. I love the smell. It's so great. It's so great because they are afraid to be alone. Pick-me's are afraid to be alone. We have to stop acting like being single is the worst thing that can befall a woman. Okay. I want you to really think about what it means if a guy doesn't like you. Because look, pick-me's, there's a difference between being stone cold obsessed with the dude and being a pick-me where you are stone cold obsessed with every dude. And I say that as someone who was. Like, I always say, I was sort of like casting the role of Shallon's boyfriend. I didn't care who walked through the door. He just needed to love me because I was pinning my self-esteem on whether or not I had a boyfriend. Forget that I was writing books and getting TV shows. That didn't matter. I needed validation from men, from boys, from any human male. That's fine. And I want you to avoid that fate. I want you to avoid that fate. I want you to sit and ask yourself, what does it mean if this guy, your pick-me, this ride or die, what if he doesn't like you? Okay? What does that mean? It's like, well then, I'm all alone. I want you to get granular. Keep going. I want you to follow this thread. Well, he doesn't like me. Then I assume no guy is going to like me. Okay, what does that mean? Keep going. What does it mean? Like, forget the veracity of whether or not this is true. Okay, well, if he doesn't like me and if no guy likes me, then what is my place in this world? Okay, what is your place in this world without a man? What is left over if you take men out of the equation? Well, I don't have any friends and I hate my job. I feel bad about like my body and, I dropped out of school and I have a bad relationship with my family. Emotional getaway car, right? Pick-me culture is predicated on the emotional getaway car concept that we talk about all the time. That it's not that you want this man, you want a man. And LARSA is such an archetype of this because she's boy crazy. Look, I'm boy crazy too. And even though now I have ascended to a level where I am actually so good without a man. I need her some batteries. You are good to go, honey. But it's one thing to be boy crazy and just have boys just be this thing that fascinates you. I'm always going to love boys. They create this noise that fascinates me. LARSA is different. She predicates her identity on men. I mean, she was the NBA wife, the basketball wife, and the fact that she still chronically goes for these NBA dudes tells me that that is a central part of her identity. She can't date a banker. She can't date a lawyer. She can't date an Instagram like dude model. She has to date a basketball player. And she doesn't give a fuck if he belongs to Khloe Kardashian or some other woman. He's got to be, doesn't matter. It's fine if they're at Macy's. It's fine. Because without that, who is she? She doesn't know. She's never stopped to ask herself that. And part of the reason she doesn't know is because maybe she spent the last 20 years raising kids. But you know what? Most of my friends are moms. They know who they are. Don't blame a child for your lack of introspection, your lack of emotional health and viability. Like, first of all, LARSA, you were rich. So it's not like you're barefoot and pregnant. You could have had nannies for an hour a day to go get some fucking therapy or to go get some fucking hobbies. Hobbies? I know you guys are like, not this again. Yes, this again. Yes, this again. Because hobbies are the answer to so many things. I listen to this podcast, Noble Blood. You guys have heard me talk about it. And she always does ads for this thing, the Great Courses Plus. And it just takes a few times of telling me something. I'm like, okay. It's wild. I've never ended up in a cult. But it's like college courses that are like narrated by professors. They're like video and audio. And I was like, you know what? I really want to sign up for that. This is not an ad. It's me admitting that I am susceptible to ads. But I've been listening to like the history of Russia, the history of like Cicero's oration, just nerd stuff. And it's like, wow, I feel like I'm doing something good for myself. I feel like I'm expanding my mind. And I feel like now I have something to say. I have value. It's like a workout. And we all feel really good after we work out, right? You're like, oh, yeah, girl. Like you just feel good about yourself. You feel like you have agency and power. And we got to do that for our minds too. And I think it's interesting how much Larsa has changed her body. Instead of through working out, she's changed it through surgery. It's a shortcut thing. She doesn't want to do the hard thing and work out and lose weight that way. She'd rather just get some lipo and some ass implants. Okay. She doesn't want to maybe read books and do a book club on her Instagram page or post like meaningful quotes. It's more Migos lyrics. It's like, it all adds up to this person who is just sort of hollow and not diversifying, bettering, empowering themselves. They're only focused on the end result. I just want a big butt and big tits. Okay, I mean, you can get that, apparently on Groupon. You can get that, but what do you think what does it represent? The pick-me culture goes back to that representation. What does this man represent to you? Now I know. You're saying, I don't have overall pick-me vibes. I just feel like I have pick-me vibes and thirst for this one particular dude. Oh, I know. Where you just find yourself like drawn in this like desperation tractor beam towards weird subtweets, thoughty pics on Snapchat, just showing up at the bar you know who he always goes to. I know it's so bad. You feel kind of out of control. And if you try to like, I was going to say, put your foot down and do something different. I mean, it feels almost impossible. When I've been like that, there has been an unmistakable correlation between how I'm treating my body and how desperate I am with dudes. Unmistakable. When I feel like my eating is out of control and I'm not working out, I'm just like this sort of garbage disposal of a person. I am a garbage disposal in almost every other way. I am taking in garbage, not only from my fridge, but from men who disrespect me. Oh, you want to text me? You up at 11:30? Okay. Yeah, I'll put on my makeup so I can Snapchat you back. Doesn't matter that it's 1:30 in the morning. Doesn't matter it's 7 a.m. and I'm busy. Okay, whatever. Let me just eat all this artichoke dip that's left over. I'm not even going to heat it up. Those walk hand in hand for me. And for you, it might be something else. It might be like I can see my own madness manifested in my house. I'm not doing my dishes. I'm not making my bed. My laundry's not folded. Maybe it's your relationship with your friends. I'm not calling people back. I'm being really flaky. I'm anxious and wishy-washy. And that's how I feel with this man, how he's making me feel. We cannot act like all these parts of our lives are unrelated. They're not. If you look at your body, I have a really bad back. I always have. Your back is related to everything else. And when your low back is tight, usually it's because your hamstrings are tight, right? If your shoulders are sore, it's your posture. It's coming from your neck. It's coming from your jaw, how you're gripping. It's all intertwined. And we can accept that with our body. And yet we look around our lives emotionally. We're like, I don't see it. Nope. There's no sense of holisticness. Holisticity? There's no sense of that. So if you're having just a focused, thirsty pick-me-ishness, there's something going on in other categories. And you might not want to funnel it down and get granular like the girls who are overall pick-me's. Listen, very few of us want to think we're a pick-me, right? It's like, oh, that's me. Even when I was in like the heyday of my desperation, I didn't want to think that about myself. I wouldn't have self-identified. I'd be like, no, I just like guys, or I just like him. You have to look at patterns. Do you feel this way a lot? Is this an outlier behavior? Or is it kind of the norm? Outlier behavior doesn't last very long. Humans don't do chronically what does not work for them, right? And so if you're like, I'm subtweeting and I'm posting thoughty things and I feel insane, I feel out of control, that is you're going to know that's an outlier because you're going to stop doing it. And that means the rest of your life is a life of sanity and dignity and curiosity and passion and goal setting and scheduling and bed making and working out and being healthy overall. So that when this behavior comes along, this thirsty behavior, you're like, oh, I don't like this. I don't like this at all. This isn't me. So ask yourself, what does this dude represent? If you removed him from your life, let's say the worst happened and he didn't like you. Let's say the absolute worst happened and guys just don't like you full stop. Let's say you were going to be single for a year. No crushes, no dates, no sex. Oof, no sex. Let's say you're going to be single for a year. Does that scare you? It scares the fuck out of me. I don't want that. Why does it scare us? What's under there? When I think about it, if I didn't have any boy attention for a year, I'd be like, oh, I'd be so bored. That's how I feel. I would be so bored. When I said earlier that men create a noise that fascinates me, I didn't say music. I said noise. Noise, it distracts me. It pulls me away from what I'm doing. Why wouldn't I want it to be music? I don't know. This is something I've got to work out in therapy. But to me, being bored is like a fate worse than death. I felt very bored growing up. I felt very stuck at home. My mom was out traveling these glamorous places. And that gave me an extreme fear of boredom. So for me to be bored is worse than being rejected. It's a different kind of, I'm on the outskirts of society. So I don't like that at all. And I think, okay, well, if I was bored, I'd have to entertain myself. How would I do that? I might have to actually deal with things. I might have to do all those work projects that I put off because I've got a date and I have to spend time with my boyfriend. I might have to work out. I might have to just be inside like myself. I would have to become my own best friend. It's heavy. It's heavy. And we don't want to do that. But do we want to listen to noise? After I went through my sort of alpha female revolution, and I will tell you how I did that. I did a whole podcast episode on how I became an alpha female and how you can become an alpha female. So check it out. It's Girl on Top. It's on every podcast platform. It's free. I think I did it like 2 weeks ago. After I went through that, the noise turned a little bit more to music. Maybe not the best song, but now boys are a complement to my life. They're not a completion. I am okay without guys in my life because I don't feel bored. Now that I have this career that I do, I like doing it. My boyfriend's home for Thanksgiving and I was like, oh gosh, am I going to be bored without him? Nope. I mean, I miss him. But I have plenty to keep me occupied and I love it. I've had really good days. I'm doing a lot of stuff, working on Vlogmas and podcasts and merch and blah, blah, blah. And I feel really fulfilled. But I have crafted on purpose a life of non-boredom. And when I was working in corporate America or some bullshit job that I didn't like, I felt bored all the time. I felt emotionally and intellectually bored. So once I took the reins on that, listen to audiobooks, working out, seeing friends, traveling. Then boys were like, I don't need your noise. I'm fine here in the silence. It's not easy, and it's not something that happens overnight, but men are a symptom of a larger disease. You know what I mean? Not like that they're a disease, but we all have a different vice, whether it's gambling, alcohol, drugs, or boys. All of those things keep us distracted from what our heart and our soul and our psyche and God herself is trying to fucking tell us. So if we would just listen from the beginning, we could avoid being LARSA Pippen in some weird dominatrix coveralls at Macy's in the mall. That is a fate worse than death. I'm really curious to see how this saga is going to play out. I'm sure Lars is going to come out with like, I didn't know and we're all grown-ups. It's going to be some cryptic ass subtweet like live, laugh, love and stay in your lane and I'm doing fine. She's just, oh my God. I don't know what to do with her. I want to know your thoughts on this. I want to know what other Vlogmas ideas you want to see. We have a ton coming up. We're going to do a whole series on the Christmas blues, whole series on career tips, and a ton more in between. I'll see you later, Shalligators.